everybody and welcome to the channel Bob Sales this times next year. We have some more on English art coming to the veve app. Unfortunately, veve did release this article 2 days before the drop, so that's not ideally enough time for me to make a great video. With that being said, I know how big Ron English is, so I'm going to try and do a quick history, quick recap of his life. Ron English, also known as the godfather of street art, is a contemporary artist. Ron has literally done it all, from street art to fine art galleries to albums to cereal boxes. Ron has also moved on to making some great physical pieces. He even coined the term propaganda. This was used to describe the mashups of art and the use of real world issues, which he tends to do a lot in his art pieces. In fact, his website itself is called Propaganda. So let's start with the street art. Ron English actually started off with a background as an art reproducer in the 1980s before going on to make his own work. Ron has murals all around the world. He actually has billboards all around the world. He also initiated and participated in loads of illegal public art protests. That's actually how he got his nickname.
Notorious illegal artist.
And Ron has actually been arrested on several occasions for this act.
Would work at night because it just seems like it's illegal. You should probably do it at night. But at some point I thought, you know, these guys are all criminals. I'm a criminal. It's like, what if we just did it during the day?
Culture jamming is a big part of Ron's work. The meaning being, the artist would go around changing words or images on billboards to actually change the message that was already on them, often to reflect an anti-establishment message. So basically, when he thought a company was promoting or being a bit shady with their agenda or not being truthful, he'd go around correcting this on billboards. The change to the work is supposed to make you look at the real picture and question capitalism in itself. Ron often does this by using grotesque work and sometimes offensive work, but it's all to make the consumer look deeper into the meaning and then find out the real backstory of what it's about, which it normally is about unhealthy food or political statements being forced upon everyone, and many other social issues. His frequent targets of this sort of work include Mickey Mouse and McDonald's. He does actually use Mickey Mouse a number of times to cover the female breasts. A good example is the Hear More Evil Monkeys. We have the yellow and red costume. It's obviously Ronald McDonald's hair, so this is obviously a take on McDonald's. And the description for that drop itself actually reads, "Don't turn the other ear to the evil lies of the insincere or the ballyho of sloganers. He hears more than he wants to hear." So he's definitely not loving it.
I'm loving it.
Later, Ron went on to focus on another form of advertising, and this was product boxes. He actually did everything from cigarettes to milk cartons to cereal boxes. Of course, the serial killers we already have in veve that was created for this exact purpose. Now, we all know that they represent the high content of sugar and the preservatives that are damaging not only adults but children. Ron and his band of bandits would actually go around to stores around the world and actually switch out some of his items and put them in the aisle. So let's talk fine art. Ron does actually have a fine art degree. He passed that in Texas. Ron would later move to New York to start selling his own works. He actually exhibitioned his grade school Guernica pieces at the Station Museum of Contemporary Art. Of course, this work was a take on Picasso's Guernica. He'd also done other reworks of The Last Supper and Starry Night. He's literally in galleries from Madrid to England to New York. Ron has also dabbled in album art covers. He made covers for Dandy Warhol's Welcome to the Monkeys House album. He also did the 2010 album for Slash. He even done the Fame cover for Chris Brown. It was in 2005 that the English creator designed toy versions of his art. Ronnie the Rabbit was actually the first artwork turned toy by Ron. In 2013, he actually paired up with Slash again to create a limited edition fiberglass bust, which is the image used on the album. I actually have this album, Slash and Friends, and I did not notice that. He also partnered with Chris Brown to launch their Dumb English toy, a pink astronaut star skull. The same year, he also collaborated with Pearl Jam. This was to produce a physical phallus sheep. This drop was actually done in blind box format and was sold in stores and at Pearl Jam's concert. I'm not going to believe this, but Ron even has his own band called the Rabbits. They've released several full-length albums over the years. Somehow, he's even included artists like Slash and Travie McCoy from Gym Class Heroes in them albums. I believe the music that was in the video for this drop was actually from Ron and his band. Ron and his fellow artists also starred in a Simpsons episode. This was based around street art. Ron is also the only artist to have a Funko. Yes, Ron is actually that big. He also made a slight appearance in Banksy's Exit Through the Gift Shop. In fact, I'm 100% certain that Ron knows who Banksy is, and in fact knows him well. Again, these videos always tie together. A Banksy piece titled Slave Labour was once again removed from the wall of a bargain shop, and it was later sold at auction. This first went to an auction in Miami, but after complaints and backlash, they actually removed it from the sale. That piece then went back to the UK and once again was put up for auction and sold. Again, after this sale, it was then put up again for auction in Los Angeles. This item sold for over $600K.
We have a bid of $600,000. Going once. Do I have any further advance at 650,000? Going twice. The current bid is $600,000 in the gallery. Going thrice. Last chance. Final offer at 600. And it's going to Ron English. Last chance. Final offer. Sold!
And who was the buyer? None other than Ron English. So rather than me explain it, why not let the man himself explain what his reasons were?
My idea for this painting is to whitewash it for my good pal Banksy. And I only wish I could have spent more money for it.
And what do you mean by
and had less
whitewashing?
money for... no, I'm going to paint it white again. I'm done. Yeah. Should be bought and sold. I don't think there's a lot of thinking behind that. I think that's, we're tired of people stealing our stuff off the streets and reselling it, so I'm just going to buy everything I can get my hands on and whitewash it. Then, of course, I'll sell the whitewash painting for $1 million. I'm crazy, but I'm not stupid.
So yes, he did in fact buy it just to make a stand and plan to whitewash it for his friend, Banksy. Again, I reiterate, street art should not be bought and sold. So moving on to the VV drop. This drop is another take on some physical pieces already made from Ron. The new figure features English take on the iconic tycoon character from the classic real estate board game Monopoly. Mogul Grimm dons a classic top hat, tuxedo, monocle, and of course a signature skeletal smile. And I should also tell you these toys cost around $400 each, if not more. They also come in 3 variations for each character. Each character has one with white teeth, silver teeth, gold teeth. As of yet, I've yet to find a physical one for the green version with the green teeth. That being said, let's get into the drop details. The first 3 Mogul Grimms drop Friday the 29th of September, 8 AM PT, which of course is 4 PM UK time. This of course is blind box waitlist format, and the list price for this collectible is going to be 30 gems. And normally this does say the first edition for public sale is 41. But in this case, it doesn't have that listed. The Mogul Grimm Black Tie is your rare, and this will be mint in 1444 edition. Mogul Grimm Greed Green is the ultra rare rarity. This will be mint in 1111 editions. And this is the one I can't actually match to a physical toy yet. Last but not least is the Mogul Grimm Gold Skull, which will be the secret rare. This one will be mint in 666 editions. A total of 90 will be withheld by VV and the licensors. Like most artist works, there is only a 2.5% selling fee on the market. So the key point right at the start, this is the first of 3 of a larger collection. So there's definitely more to come. And as I said, each version I did find, there was actually 3 of each of that version. I also spotted a red version along the way, so that could be a later series or a sneaky airdrop to come. Now I'm going to play these vids in full and then I'll give you my overall opinion.
Cash, 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 gimme, gimme. Cash, 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 gimme, gimme. Cash, 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 gimme, gimme. Gimme, gimme, cash. Gimme, cash, 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 gimme, gimme. Cash, 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 gimme, gimme. Gimme, gimme, cash. Cash, 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 gimme, gimme. Cash, 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 gimme, gimme. Cash, 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 gimme, gimme. Gimme, gimme, cash. Cash, 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 gimme, gimme. Cash, cash.
As you can tell in the video, we actually had a Monopoly board with bits and also music. However, on the drop article, none of these are interactive or show sound or a board. Now with the physicals, they also had poker chips behind the actual picture. Although they were in the picture, they wasn't actually included on the item. It was literally just a promotional image. And for the VV drop advertisement, we seem to have a Monopoly board that's no longer there. So the thing is, in this picture, it clearly shows the Monopoly board. So there's definitely a Monopoly board made in real life for the physicals. Now I do believe if you show something in a VV drop hype vid, the drop itself should definitely include this. Even I tried to not add effects to the drop image or the videos when I'm making videos myself and I'm displaying the item you're about to buy. The buyer should only see what they're getting. So where is the music? Where is the board? My only hope is it's a possible airdrop to come. And that's either with the character with the board or just the board itself. And we do know on Ron's last drop, he actually did an airdrop. So I was really excited when I first see the first video, but now the article doesn't actually match the video. I believe that's a big disappointment to see the first video and then see what we're actually getting after. It kind of feels like it was built up to be disappointment. Now I was going to go for the drop, but I'm really unsure now, I must admit. That being said, Ron is a very, very big name. It does actually say you'll need one of these to get in the New York Comic Con VV after party. It's great to see VV starting to add utility. If people have travelled all the way to see you at your event, paid money to get there, paid money to stay there, I feel it's a bit wrong to ask them to buy a collectible just to get in the after party event myself. People travel a long way. Not only that, if you can't get to New York, the utility is pretty useless. Now overall, the collectibles are really nice. My favourite would actually be the black. So let me know your thoughts. Do you feel a bit misled by the first video? Do you feel a bit disappointed that the drop doesn't actually include any music or sound or the board? Because I'm honestly a bit baffled by that advertisement and that release. So anyway, I've been your host Bob Sales. This time next year, we will be millionaires. A peace.
Now, if I can just get my $3 million back.
No refunds.
But he just said the show was a sham.
Oh, it is. And I'm just a guy sitting at a table. The only thing that's real is a sign that says no refunds.